This August the 14th fixed edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the code MLB SGPN to claim your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMN. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, August the 13th. We are here to handicap a full card of action for Wednesday, August the 14th. It is an OG special with, we've just established, the third richest man in Texas. It is Mr. Munaf Manji. Munaf, how you doing?
The third richest man in my household would be probably the correct way to put it. Doing well, yeah. It's starting to get busy times. I know you're knee deep with the previews and getting ready for the EPL season, and college football kicks off in about 10 days. NFL season's around the corner, so it's been busy times here. But hey, we're still grinding away baseball here, Mal. So I know you guys have been really, really hot with the home run picks, so hopefully we can continue that here for the Wednesday card.
Yeah, feeling the pressure a little bit now, but this is our. I know we've only been doing it a few weeks since the All-Star break, but this is our hottest little streak. We've gone from Joe Adele on Friday night to Jackson Merrill on Saturday night. Obviously, we have Sunday off the show, and then Ellie De La Cruz hit for Lonte. So, in fact, I say the pressure's on us. It isn't Munaf. The pressure's on you because I've got one. I've got one over the line. Scott's followed up. Lonte has gone in, which leaves you and D-Rock to get the full house. So my pick tonight for the Monday game was Royce Lewis. Can't remember who Scott picked. I thought it was a Boston Red Sox, but maybe it wasn't. Trev, you're a completist. If you can try and let us know who it is. Trev was first in the chat. Michael, I haven't seen Michael for a few weeks. Michael, welcome back along. How you doing? The first thing I noticed this morning, Munaf, I always wake up and check the scores, and I checked the scores, then I put Twitter on, and just the whole world was enjoying the Yankees getting shellacked. So that's all I got this morning. Everyone was just laughing their heads off. It was funny.
I mean, when you have a minus 300 favorite, like, I think Yankee fans are used to like those type of results when they're such a heavy favorite, but it's just because it's the Yankees. It's the expense of the Yankees that everybody wants to laugh at just because, it's the pinstripes. But it was pretty amusing. I was doing a VSiN spot last night with Greg Peterson as the game was going on. And by the time we had started the actual segment to talk about some football and baseball later on, it was 5-2. And then by the time I was done recording with him and doing the appearance, it was 12-2 in favor of the White Sox. And we were keeping up with the score as the segment went along, and we were just having a good laugh about it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm sure it busted a lot of parlays last night. People just putting minus 300 into their parlays.
The only thing I wasn't keen on was that obviously it's Jonathan Cannon day today. It's Jonathan Cannon first five. So I hope the White Sox didn't waste all their runs and waste all their good luck last night. I hope they saved a few to get over the line tonight. But yes, really busy week. You're right. Premier League starts at the weekend. I tried to handicap the first 3 games today, and it was hard. So I mean to knuckle down. But yeah, baseball's going along. I'm really enjoying this season. I'm enjoying handicapping. I haven't had the best start of this week, I must admit. But where we'll go again. I threw out a little short earlier on today because we talked about Minnesota last night and we weren't sure who was going in place of Joe Ryan. And they've put out Zebby Matthews, a young rookie. And we do like taking rookies on the show. We like getting that little surprise element earlier on. So I quite fancy the Twins for the Tuesday games. But it's the Wednesday card that we're concerned with here, Munaf. So we'll get stuck into that. I know you just finished recording the Houston Texans preview podcast with Sean and Ryan, one of the 32 podcasts. I have listened to every single one. They make me laugh no end. But you can win a $500 Circa future for the listeners then, with the old phrase that pays. The EPL returns, so make sure to check out the Gambling Podcast and the Premier League Gambling Podcast for your footy fix there. And subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and the SGPN app.
Before we get into it, Mal, sorry to interrupt you, but now we get to, it's that time of the year where I'm going to be messaging you Saturday morning early to get your picks in. So we're back at that time of the year again.
And then I'll message you on a Sunday to get the NFL picks, yeah. And then Monday to Friday, we just slag each other off, depending on who did better at the weekend. Yeah, it's a revolving door, Munaf, of bang average picks, and I wouldn't have it any other way. 1:10 Eastern tomorrow is Kansas City Royals at the Minnesota Twins. Left-handed pitcher Cole Reagans for the Royals. For the Twins, it is Bailey Ober.
Yeah,
we think. Obviously, it was Joe Ryan's spot that was up for grabs, but we did mention last night that we thought the Twins were set for the rest of the week. Cole Reagans is going steady, I think. Pretty reliable stat line. Every start, he's good on the road. Kansas City have won 4 of his last 5. Bailey Ober is in really good form. In his last 4 starts, he's pitched 28 innings, given up just 4 earned runs and 31 strikeouts in that spell. But the key for me was he really struggles against the Royals. He's 0-4 with a 7.71 ERA. So we've got a decent sample size. It's not one fluky start that's got him up there. The Royals seem to have his number. So Reagan's being reliable and the Royals having Ober's number. I'm going to go for a dog early on here. I'll take Kansas City Royals plus 110, Munaf.
Yeah, that's what really stands out about Bailey Ober, right? What you mentioned, the 0-4 record. And really, it's just been recently, right, Mal? The last 3 starts dating back to last year, 2023. He had a start in there, 4 innings, 11 hits, 6 earned runs. The 2 starts he's made this season against the Royals. Let me see. I just had it in front of me. 6 in the 3rd inning, 18 hits, 14 earned runs he's allowed in that span. So I did bet on Bailey Ober in his last start, Mal, which was against the Guardians. Like you mentioned, he's been absolutely outstanding here. But I think that, maybe I don't want to say that the luck is going to run out here, but sometimes when a team just has your number, they have your number. So I agree with you. I would be on the Royal side here with Cole Reagans on the mound, just really fading Bailey Ober against just historically how bad he's been against his Royals team.
It's funny that sort of picking baseball every night, especially myself, I still think I'm relatively new to it, sort of 8 years now, but there'll be some games that you pick on how you feel, eye test, how you perceive someone's good. And then there's another one, you might make the pick just on the stats, even though you intuitively, I was thinking Bailey Ober's pitched really well, and he has. But you see a number like that, and baseball's great for just getting those little foibles, the little numbers. And that was absolutely one of those picks where I'll just take that, I'll see that stat, and I want to run with it. 3:40 Eastern first pitch, the Colorado Rockies at the Arizona Diamondbacks. For the Rockies, it will be Tanner Gordon. The D-backs will be throwing Jordan Montgomery, left-handed pitcher, and the D-backs are minus 220, plus 184 for the Rockies. And the total, Munaf, is sat at 9.
Yeah, Tanner Gordon got off to a rough start earlier this season against the Royals, the Mets, and the Giants. But at least over his last 2 starts, he's been pretty good against the Padres and the Atlanta Braves. Not sure how much, it's crazy to say how much we can take away from that Braves start because they've just been struggling mightily, especially offensively. But it's been really good for him. But also at the fact that Arizona has been one of the hotter teams, and they're on that gap against the Dodgers in that NL West along with the Padres. So, anytime I see Jordan Montgomery at home at Chase Field, that just makes me want to bet the over just because he just has not been very good at Chase Field. And I know he got off to the late start this season because he was, trying to get the most money he could. But that may have come to bite him a little bit because he didn't get any spring training or things like that. So just looking at his splits, Mal, 10 starts at Chase Field in Arizona. He's 3-4 with the 8.14 ERA. A lot better on the road there, but again, the ERA is still above 4 there for Jordan Montgomery there. So, yeah, I would look at over 9 in this game here. He's coming off a start where he gave up 4 earned runs, 5 2/3 innings. Walks are a huge concern for Jordan Montgomery as well. Maybe Tanner Gordon comes back down to earth here a little bit, going up against this offense here, but I do think the Rockies could tack on a few runs against Montgomery, and then I think the Diamondbacks will be able to get runs off of Tanner Gordon there as well. So I really like the over 9 in this game. I'm not interested in laying a minus 220 price with Jordan Montgomery, even if it is against the Colorado Rockies, Mel.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Munaf. I've got the same handicap, slightly different pick. Montgomery still can't put a decent sequence together. He's now got 3 consecutive months with a +7 ERA. August is sitting at 5.19. His home ERA is sitting at 8.14. I'm not brave enough here to take Tanner Gordon, unfortunately, but Colorado can absolutely help here. Montgomery, 12-5 to the over in his first 5, Munaf. So it's an over that I like too, but I'm going to keep it a little bit skinnier, and I will take a first 5 over. Jeff has joined the comments. Jeff's a new subscriber. He says, Jeff, welcome along. Good fun crowd here, so get involved. Any bets you like, throw them in there. Yeah, these are Wednesday's games, Jeff, that we're having a look at. We always go one day behind. The show for tonight's games is out there if you go and track it down. Next up is a 4:10 Eastern first pitch between the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the San Diego Padres. It is Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh, and left-handed pitcher Martin Perez will go for the Padres. -138 for San Diego, +118 Pittsburgh. Total here sitting at 8. Keller had been pitching well. The Dodgers got to him last time, though, for 7 earned runs, but he's generally reliable. Not as good on the road. His ERA is around about 2 runs worse off than it is back in PNC. Martin Perez, he's found something with the Padres. He was a name that we kind of like to fade. But 13 innings with only 6 hits and 3 earned runs, actually all on homers. All those home runs have been solo dingers for Perez. So maybe a Pittsburgh home run prop if you fancy. One for later on. The strong data for runs here. V lefties, Pittsburgh are 19 and 17 to the over. But V righties, the Padres are 48, 33 and 2. So we've got a combined 67 and 50 for the over against the pitcher handedness they're facing tomorrow. That's good enough for me. The 8 looks a little bit low anyway. So yeah, I'll take another over, Munaf.
Yeah, Martin Perez has actually been at least decent over his last 3 starts. I know it was against the Cardinals, the Rockies, and the Marlins there, but now you're going up against, the Pirates, who, have a little of a pop in their bats. They could put it together. Mitch Keller just coming off an absolute atrocious start, which was against the Dodgers. And again, how much can we really take away from that? But it's also the fact that how many innings is Mitch Keller going to be out there, right? His last 2 starts, he's only gone 4 innings in each of those games. Prior to that, he did go 7 innings each against the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals, but then he only went 3 innings against the Chicago White Sox back on July 14th. So it seems like there's a little bit of an inconsistency there. I know Mitch Keller has been really, really good when he's a dog at a plus price. I think this dates back to last season, Mal, but even this season prior to that start against the Dodgers, he was going along very, very well in those spots there. So 7-1 is the straight up are the Pirates, and 7-1 on the run line, 7-1 to the over, where Mitch Keller is a dog on the road there. So I think I like the over here with you. I think every one of his road starts, except for one, has seen at least 9 runs. The one that didn't was against the Cubs when they were struggling offensively back in May. So I think this number here, right, is a little bit conservative on the total here at 8. Wouldn't be surprised if it does move to 8.5 come Wednesday afternoon here, closer to game time. But I'll lean here with the Pirates, but my more favorite play, I agree with you, is going to be on the over 8.
Okay, we'll move on after I tell you about Underdog Fantasy. You can win 325 times your money if you go 8-0 with Underdog Fantasy. Play fantasy football the right way. Best Ball Mania is live, $15 million in prizes there. And Underdog just launched their season-long college football projections, higher and lower, for your favourite college football players. Extra specials and boosts on all your flexed entries. MLB SGPN is the code to claim a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. Next up is one of the few games where I don't have a picture. And the Texas Rangers, who are missing a pitcher here, 6:10 Eastern first pitch. Texas TBD. The Boston Red Sox will throw Tanner Houck. The Brookies seem quite confident, so they might know something I don't, because they've got the Red Sox here at -168, with Texas at +142, and a high total at 9.5. So that suggests to me, Moon, if there is a Texas pitcher sniffing around somewhere, do you know who it might be?
So I do see Tanner Houck for the Red Sox. Let's really do a little digging on some other sites here for the Rangers. And it could just be the fact that they have Tanner Houck that's going to be slated here for the Red Sox, and he's.
I think Tanner Houck would be -168 presently, though, because he is on this real run of defeats. He was good in April and May, but that form's a bit of a distant memory. So I don't think you can trust him. I certainly won't be backing him at -168, regardless of who Texas are throwing.
I'm seeing Dane
Jacob
Dunning.
DeGrom was throwing. He never learns his lesson, Jacob DeGrom. He's back from injury. He was out there. First pitch he threw today, 99 miles an hour. I'm like, Jacob, chill out, man. You're gonna your arm will fall off again. Just easy way you do it. First pitch, 99. Okay. It's like Noah Syndergaard did that until his body entirely gave up. So yeah. Anyway, moving off back to the game in hand. What have you got?
I see Dane Dunning slated on RotoWire right now for the Rangers, but I've seen his name multiple times, and sometimes most of the time he's getting scratched here, but we can go off of that right now for Dane Dunning for the Rangers.
Dane Dunning, okay.
Yes.
Right, well, in fact, all I'm saying for this one is I don't want to back Tanner Houck Munaf. That's as much as you're getting out of me.
Yeah, and I couldn't blame you, right? For Dane Dunning, if it is going to be him, it seems like he's just going to be a spot starter, give you a couple innings, 2, 3, maybe at most. But like you mentioned, Tanner Houck just has not been in very good form right now. And, we'll see this from pitchers from time to time, right? Like they are in great form and then they just come out and have a slump there. And Tanner Houck's just in that slump right now. But you also take a look, Mal. The concerning part about him is that he's giving up a lot of walks. He's allowed at least 3 walks in 4 of his last 5 starts, which is not going to bode well. The strikeout numbers haven't been there for him as well. So I think this might be an opportunity. Well, we know the Red Sox have been one of the hotter offenses, especially since the All-Star break, and their games are tending towards the over. So I could see a spot here where the Rangers offense can have some success off for Tanner Houck. We know what the Red Sox offense can do as well. I couldn't talk you off of over in this game, over 9.5 right now. Maybe there's a 9 out there, but I think over would be the play here for me.
6:35 Eastern first pitch. The Washington Nationals go to the Baltimore Orioles. Left-handed pitcher DJ Hertz for Washington, and Dean Kramer will go for the Orioles, who are -172, +144 for Washington. Total sitting here at 9. Now, I don't mind Hertz at all. Now, he only got 8 outs last time. That's as deep as he went. And regularly 5 innings is just about his limit. But he does enough to keep Washington in the game. Dean Kramer struggling a little bit. He's on a run of 4 defeats, has a 1-4 home record with a 5.40 ERA. DJ Hertz, 5-2 straight up in the first 5. The Nationals' pen isn't terrible. So I could go full game here, but I just thought the safest option is I like Washington first 5. I said safest there. I like it's a great bet. I think it's the value. I like Hertz's numbers first 5. Kramer's not in good form. I think the value is with DJ Hertz and Washington first 5, Muna.
Yeah, Dean Kramer is coming off 2 rough starts here, and the Orioles have lost 4 straight starts that he has made, and the run support has been there over the last 3 games now, but he just hasn't been in good form, at least over the last 2 games. He does have a pretty good record career-wise against the Nationals. Like you mentioned with DJ Hurds, he's going to give up a couple runs. So I wouldn't be opposed to maybe a first 5 over in this game. I know I mentioned a lot of overs, but the Nationals have also lost 4 of his last 5 starts, and more so it's been that he hasn't really gotten a run support in those games, or it's the fact that the bullpen is coming up and giving up a lot of runs in those spots for the Nationals after he's done with his outing here. So right now I see the total at 9. First 5 over, I think, would be the look here for me, or even a full game over 9 as well. I just don't trust either bullpen right now, honestly, for either one of these teams.
Munaf's liking all the runs tomorrow. That's good, Munaf. It's positive. We're going to have a fun night. 6:40 Eastern, first pitch. The Chicago Cubs at the Cleveland Guardians. Jameson Taillon for the Cubs. For the Guardians, it's Alex Cobb. And the Guardians are -126 with the Cubs plus 108. I haven't seen a total for this. Let me see if I can find one. Yes, 8 is the answer. Munaf, Cubs at Guardians.
But I even forgot that Alex Cobb was even in the league before I saw his name get traded over to the Guardians. But here we are. He made his appearance for the season, I believe, last Thursday against the Minnesota Twins. 4 2/3 inning, gave up 4 earned runs, lost that game, did the Guardians 6-3. And now you're going up against Jameson Taillon, who we know that is not going to give up a whole heck of a lot of walks. I know he had 1 game in there against the Brewers where he had 3, but other than that, he's been really solid. Last start was a rough one, which was against the Chicago White Sox. 5 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 strikeouts in that game. It seems like he's alternating now between a good start and bad start. So it seems like this might be a game where he has a pretty good start in this game. If this number gets to 8.5 here, Mal, I like the under between these 2 pitchers. With Alex Cobb there, Mal, I feel like the value here is on the Cubs at that plus 108 price. I just don't think that he's going to be able to go out there and really shut down this Cubs offense. I think that he'll give up a couple runs. I think Jameson Taillon can lock in. So I retract what I said about not seeing runs in this game. I think the Cubs is the right side here, especially at this plus price here. So I like the Cubs in the spot, maybe Cubs first 5 team total over, or even Cubs first 5 innings money line as well.
I agree with you. I circled 2 picks here. I quite like the over, actually, Munaf, because the key to Taillon is that the home road splits. His last 3 road starts, he's given up 14 earned runs, even though the Cubs have got him out of jail a couple of times with their offense. You can only have a watching brief on Alex Cobb currently. 4 earned runs on his debut with the Twins. He just looks vulnerable. They both look vulnerable to me, but I do prefer the Cubs. And I made those notes earlier on before, so the prices plus 108 is fine. Cleveland just stuttering a little bit lately. Cubbies going along okay. I will take the Cubs at plus 108. This next game's off the board, and Seattle Detroit is, and this was the one that was off the board last night as well. I'm not sure why, because I've seen pictures. It is 6:40 Eastern. The Mariners at the Tigers. Brian Wu for Seattle. Kenta Maeda, Munaf's mate, for the Tigers. But no lines for this one. Not entirely sure why, unless it's not Maeda, Munaf. But who have you got here?
I do see Brian Wu, that's for sure. Let me double check again another site that usually does. I'm seeing a Brian Samson's for the Detroit Tigers, a left-handed pitcher. So I think, Mal, for the rest of the season, we're just going to get these TBDs for the Detroit Tigers because I feel like they've pretty much wrapped it up for the season here. But Brian Wu's been a guy that I really want to back when he's pitching at home. Obviously, now I know he's pitching here on the road, but he's in good form, right? And again, the question then becomes with Brian Wu is how long is he going to be out there? Because we've seen spots where he's gone length, but then there's spots where he's only going about 3 to 4 innings for this Detroit team, this Mariners team. It feels like the Mariners have also turned it around offensively. I know they've been a team early in the season where they really weren't putting up a lot of runs, but I know they had that series against the Mets. They were absolutely destroying their pitching. Brian Wood's coming off a start against his Tigers team at home, where he gave up 3 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. Did have 7 strikeouts in that game, Al, but the Mariners would go on to win that game 4-3. The Mariners have won 4 straight starts that he has made, but 3 of those 4 wins have been at home. It makes me a little nervous that he is on the road here, but I think that he can go along well. Just looking at the number here, I don't see, like you mentioned, there's no lines up right now, but I think it would be the Mariners or nothing for me in this game.
That is as obvious as it sounds, Munaf, that game last week is a really good comp game. Wood did just enough, 6 2/3, 3 earned, and then Seattle scraped it 4-3. Seattle are just starting to flex a little bit more offensively, and if they can put it together, they're going to be very, very dangerous. Wood's been fine on the road, 3.06 ERA. Maeda's doing better since July the 14th. To put him back in the pen and going between 2 and 5 innings, I think was his max. Hasn't been as bad, but back on the mound as a starter was an absolute auto fade. Seattle team total, I think, was the way I was going to take this. Let's just get to Maeda because you can't. It's hard to trust really what's going on. But yeah, I like Seattle here to get to Maeda early and often. Next up, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. The St. Louis Cardinals at the Cincinnati Reds. It is Kyle Gibson for the Cardinals. Unconfirmed for the Reds, but we believe it is Carson Spires. The Reds are -104. The Cardinals -112, so it's a close one. Totally a 9.5. Kyle Gibson's been all right lately. Very average game lines, wins and losers in equal measure, but he has been good on the road. Munaf 5-1, 3.34 ERA. He was slightly more reliable earlier in the season. Carson Spires had been pitching well, and then he just didn't have it last week at all against the Brewers in that game. I watched that game, and the Brewers just found it very easy to hit him. He'd been okay before that, but you see he's got a 6.30 home ERA in 3 games started. Isn't hugely promising. I haven't picked the Cards very often this season, but I'm going to take them here. I think the Cardinals can get one over the Reds. The Reds have already won a couple of games in this series. Yeah, so give me the Cards to pick one up at -112.
Yeah, Kyle Gibson coming off, his last 4 starts have been pretty good. He just had 1 start against the Cubs where he gave up 4 earned runs in 7 innings, but outside of that, Mal, he's been pretty good. He just hasn't gotten the run support, and that's the part that makes me nervous. I think that's something that we talked about early in the season. Can Carson Spires be that cure to that offense? It's a possibility because he hasn't been very good over his last 5 starts. In fact, coming off an outing where he gave up 8 earned runs in 5 innings pitched, did have 7 strikeouts, but also had 4 walks in that game against the Brewers in Milwaukee. So, yeah, I'd lean with the Cardinals here. Maybe Cardinals team total over in this game. I think that Carson Spires would definitely give it up here to the Cardinals. So Cardinal side here for me.
A nice start from Trev that the Reds have won the last 12 home games by 2 or more. So either win on the run line or they lose outright. But luckily, we've got them down for losing outright tomorrow. We've got it sorted out, Trev. Football season is right around the corner. Rhythm have got you sorted out for the NFL and college, whatever you prefer, or both, obviously. Create your own winning betting model, or let Rhythm do all of that for you. You can decide what stats matter most, and Rhythm builds a custom model around that. Rhythm uses AI projections from MIT data scientists and already rocking and rolling for NFL Week 1 and college football Week 0. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And the Circa Survivor and Circa Millions is back with $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 22nd to the 24th of August. A lot of the boys and girls are going to be out in Vegas at the Circa. SGP 15 will save you 15% on your hotel room for sign-up weekend. And once you've signed up, you'll need a proxy to play from anywhere. Our proxy has got a little deal, proxy.footballcontest.com. $50 saved with the promo code SGP. Next on the board, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. is the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. Edward Cabrera actually has just dropped this second.
Yep.
I thought it was Kyle Tyler for the Marlins, but it's going to be Edward Cabrera for Miami. And it is Tyler Phillips going for Philadelphia. Philly minus 205. Miami plus 172. And the total at 9. Them odds look a little bit off for me. I don't know if this is possibly before the pitching change, because I certainly wouldn't have Tyler Phillips as a minus 205 favourite, Munaf.
Let's refresh the page here. Let's see. Where is this line? Yeah, I'm still seeing a minus 205 for the Phillies with Edward Cabrera slated for the Marlins.
Yeah. See? Ooh.
And I'm not sure why either, because Edward Cabrera has been in really good form over his last 5 starts. Back-to-back outings, he's only 12 innings pitched, 0 earned runs allowed. The thing I want to see from Edward Cabrera going forward here, Mount, I think that he could be a solid rotation piece for the Marlins, is getting the walks under control and, getting command and location on his pitches, because he's given up, let's see here, 16 walks over his last 5 starts, but it hasn't come back to bite him in those starts just yet. He's actually been pretty good against the Phillies as well in his career, 1-1 with a 2.84 ERA. You take a look at the other side, like you mentioned, Tyler Phillips getting the start here on the season, 4-1 with a 4.83 ERA. His last 2 starts, he's given up 12 earned runs to the opposition, which was the Dodgers and which was the Seattle Mariners. But prior to that, he was going along pretty well. He had a 9 complete game shutout against the Guardians, 6 shutout innings against the Pirates, and got a little bit of trouble against the Oakland A's there as well. So I say all that. I know I mentioned a lot of overs, but I like the under 9 in this game. I think both pitchers can go along well here. I think there's some value on the Marlins here at plus 172 if you want to maybe take a look at the first 5 innings for the Marlins money line. And take the bullpens out of it. I think that Cabrera can go along well here along with Phillips. So under 9 for me, and I'd lean to the first 5 money line here for the Marlins.
Yeah, I don't mind the Marlins at all here. I had the over down when it was Tyler and Phillips. But yeah, I don't mind Cabrera. I mean, Treb's tipping up the angle that when he went 7 innings shutout last time? A 4-hit shutout, that he's going to regress off that, which is fine. It's an angling. Phillips has got a really lopsided game log to me. He's got 2 really good starts in the middle of July, where he went 15 innings scoreless against Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but everything else has been rubbish. So I don't mind Miami. I've taken Miami more times than is healthy in the last couple of weeks, actually. But I bet they've been profitable, almost certainly. Always get a good plus money price. But yeah, the runs maybe seem safest as well. So I don't mind Miami, and I don't mind the total as well. We'll take the over. Next up is 6:50 Eastern between the Houston Astros and the Tampa Bay Rays. It will be Ronel Blanco for Houston. Zach Littell goes for the Tampa Bay Rays, who are plus 112. Houston minus 132. Total 7.5. What I've noticed most with Blanco's game log is that the length of his starts has really dropped off.
Yeah.
He's going 5 or fewer just about every start now. He's still rocking up plenty strikeouts, still gets his punches. Even though, so his July and August ERA is still hovering around 4. So he hasn't fallen off completely, but maybe just managing him a little bit, if anything. Zach Littell has pitched well lately. He's only given up 4 earned in his last 17 2/3. He did see Houston on August the 3rd, 5 2/3, 1 earned run in a game that the Rays won 6-1. Plus 112, I think, is a fair price for Littell at home to Blanco. I don't mind the Rays pen particularly. Yeah, give me the Rays here at plus 112.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned about Ronel Blanco is what really stands out, because he was going a lot of length for the Astros, and maybe they're saving him for the maybe pulling his innings back a little bit, save his arm a little bit for the playoffs if the Astros do get there. Walks are also a concern for him. He's allowed at least 2 walks in 4 of his last 5 starts, but he's going to give it up, and I think that maybe there's some regression here that's entered the equation for Ronel Blanco. But Yeah, I think this line, maybe there's the value here on the Rays here, getting that plus price for them at home. Wouldn't be able to talk you off under. I think both these pitchers can go along well here. And I think the key is going to be for Ronel Blanco is limiting the walks. I think that if he's able to do that, I think he can stay in good form here. Maybe you get 5 innings out of him. First 5 under would be the look here for me as well. But I think this Astros offense, they're starting to hit the baseball. And I think that's what makes me nervous about, taking an under here. But I think Littell, like you mentioned, with the history he has against the Rays, against the Astros, I think that he can probably limit the bats here. I like the under here, maybe like a 4-2, 3-2 type of game in favor of the Rays here. I'll take the Rays on the money line here, plus plus money.
Okie doke. 7:10 Eastern first pitch is back at the top of the page for the Oakland Athletics against the New York Mets. They've changed the picture as well, the bastards. I had Mitch Spence. I'm now seeing Joey Estes going for Oakland. Left-handed pitcher David Peterson will go for the Mets. The Mets are minus 174. Oakland plus 146. Total is sitting at 8.5. Munaf, did you have Estes or Spence going?
Yeah, I see Estes listed now as a starter for the Oakland A's on the season. 5-4 with a 4.70 ERA, 63 strikeouts and 21 walks. His last start, I should say, was against the White Sox. In fact, Mal, 4 of his last 5 starts, actually, I don't say his last 5 starts have been absolutely brilliant for the Oakland A's.
Yep.
And they've actually won 4 of his last 5 starts. So he's going along very, very well here for this pitching rotation of the Oakland A's here. You to look at David Peterson on the other side for the New York Mets. I know they got swept over the weekend by the Seattle Mariners here, but Peterson hasn't been too bad himself. Walks are a concern for him. He has allowed at least 3 walks in 4 of his last 5 starts. So I think this could turn into a little bit of a pitcher's duel here. I like what I've seen from Joey Estes, like we just mentioned. I just want to quickly check his home and road splits. Yeah, the concerning part is that he hasn't been very good on the road, but at least his recent form right now has been pretty good. The one start I think that's really inflating that road ERA was against the Boston Red Sox back on July 9th. He gave up 8 earned runs in 1 2/3 innings. And then back in June, in 2 2/3 innings against the Twins, he allowed 6 earned runs. And then all the way back in May against the Astros. So, but in recent form, he looks really good to me. First 5 under would be a look here for me. And believe it or not, I would actually lean with the Oakland A's in this game.
Yeah, I think the Joey Estes thing, more than a home road split, it's just old form versus recent form. He's just kind of caught up because his last 2 road starts have been fine. The notes I made against Spence were that Spence is in top form, max 2 earned runs in his last 4 games. And you could just interchange that for Joey Estes. I don't have to change anything really. Estes has been really good. We got put onto him roundabout sort of May time, and he's been really, really good. But Peterson is going well as well. July and August ERA is lurking around a level 3. Quite a big week for the Mets, actually. They get 3 against Oakland starting on Tuesday, and then they get Miami coming in for 3. So if the Mets could win 5 games or what have you, and they're going to put themselves in a decent position here. They've got a really good record of winning for Peterson. But I prefer the shootout, Munaf. Absolutely the same as yourself. And 8.5 is way high. I don't mind the Oakland bullpen. That keeps it down as well. So let's take the under 8.5. Next up, just for Jeff, we have 8:10 Eastern. First pitch between the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. Unfortunately, the Yankees are TBD. The White Sox will throw Davis Martin and will go off here at plus 220. The Yankees minus 270. And the total here is sitting at 9. Yeah, we talked about the Yankees earlier on, but a reality check for them last night. Like Jonathan Cannon, Tuesday first 5. Davis Martin, 2 of his 3 starts have been good. And before I saw a total, I thought the total might end up too high. Obviously, the Yankees at minus 270 is a ridiculous price, especially with no pitcher Munaf. So, I mean, initially I thought that the total might be too high, but without seeing a Yankees picture, do you have much on this one?
No, let me see if there's a pitcher that's slated here potentially for the Yankees. Let me scroll down here a little bit. Seeing a gentleman by the name of Will Warren, that's
Oh,
possibly going to
okay.
go for the
Yeah.
Yankees. I don't know, man. Like I don't have much for the game. It's like minus 270. You should go with the Yankees team total, thinking they put up runs, and they could still, in fact, lose the game, right? I mean, we've seen crazier thing happen. We saw it on Monday night. I know they didn't put up the runs there, but like you mentioned, Davis Martin has had two pretty decent starts, actually pretty good starts, I should say. It was against the Mariners, and then it was against the Oakland A's. So I guess, and then he did get into a little bit of trouble against the Minnesota Twins, where he went 3 2/3, 4 earned runs, did give up 3 walks in that game. So it seems like walks are a little bit of a concern for him. It just, I feel like we just don't have enough sample size for Davis Martin. The 3 appearances or starts, I guess, he has made for the White Sox, they've lost all 3 of those games there. So I would just look at the team total over for the Yankees. It's probably going to be a 5.5. Maybe they're able to get some runs off of early off of Davis Martin, and then that bullpen comes in and they gave up a couple more. But I mean, I don't want to lay that minus 270 price with the Yankees in this game here, Mel.
No, you're right. The fact that if it is Will Warren, that my under goes completely out the window. I love the over. Will Warren got taken for 8 runs last week by the LA Angels. Was taken for 4 the start before that against the Phillies. Game totals were 13 and 10. Yeah, so both teams can get on the board here. And now the 9 is too low, where earlier it was too high. So the full switcheroo, and we will take the over 9 in the Yankees at the White Sox. 8:10 Eastern, first pitch is the LA Dodgers against the Milwaukee Brewers. Dodgers are TBD here. Frankie Montas for the Brewers, plus 112. Milwaukee, minus 132. The Dodgers, with a total of 9, Munaf.
I'm seeing potentially Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. That's what currently over on RotoWire. So we'll see if that comes into fruition or not. But
that would match up with the prices, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Because again, Walker Buehler just has not been very good thus far this season. I'll keep this one simple. Frankie Montas, he's going to give up the run. So I'm not sure. Again, we don't know the confirmed pitcher for the Dodgers, but I do think the Dodgers can tee off against Frankie Montas. Montas in his career against the Dodgers now 0-2 with an 11.57 ERA. I want to see if he's faced him this season because he has turned into a bit of a journeyman, since his days with his days at the with the Oakland A's. So he did have a start against the Dodgers back on May 17th of this season. Mal, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs he gave up in that game, and 3 walks. So you're probably going to get I think it'll be a 5.5 team total. I think that they'll be able to tee off on him. And again, they got Mookie Betts back on Monday night, did the Dodgers mound, and instantly he came in that 3rd inning in the second at bat and hit a home run for the Dodgers. But now you have Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman back at the top of 3, where they were missing 2 of those 3 guys here. So I feel like this might be the time where the Dodgers start making a run here. So I really just want to fade Montas. I'm not sure we're going to get out of Walker Buehler. If you want to look at the full game over, I couldn't talk you off of that, but I think I'm really comfortable with the Dodgers team total to go over in this game against Frankie Montas.
I had the same pick, Munaf. I saw no Dodgers pitcher, but Frankie Montas, everything was ticking the boxes to giving up runs. He's given up lots recently. He's getting involved in shootouts as well. The game totals in his last 4 are 23, 11, 13, and 13. And against the Dodgers, career 0-2 with an 11.57 ERA.
Yep.
So I didn't really have to get much further than that. You say I did notice Mookie Betts signalled his return last night with that bump. Slightly concerning for pitchers everywhere. So yeah, give me your Dodgers team total. The penultimate game on the show is a 9:38 Eastern first pitch between the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Angels. It is Jose Berrios for the Blue Jays. It is Tyler Anderson for the Angels, and it is a match on the books, minus 108 each of 2. Total is at 8.5. Really simple handicap, Munaf. I don't want to back the Blue Jays. I don't mind backing Anderson. I don't want to back Berrios. I'll take the Angels -108. That was as far as I got.
I couldn't talk you off. I mean, Jose Berrios has not been very good on the road this season. 12 starts he's made. The Blue Jays are 5-7 in those spots, but I mean, you just take a look at his home and road splits, right? I mean, that's going to tell you everything that you need to know. He's made 12 starts at home. He's made 12 starts on the road. At home, 8-2 with a 2.83 ERA. On the road, 2-7 with a 5.29 ERA for the Blue Jays there. So, not a lot of people haven't been fans of Tyler Anderson ever since he left his time with the Dodgers, but I don't think he's been that bad. I mean, I know he doesn't have a winning record. It's 9-10, but his ERA is at 2.99, and he's been pretty solid over his last 4 starts. But again, he just hasn't gotten the run support. So this might be the game where the Angels actually are able to get runs off of Jose Berrios, especially since he's on the road here. So yeah, I couldn't talk you off of the Angels money line in this game. I've already sworn off the Blue Jays, no matter who's pitching for them or who they're going up against. So it would be Angels or nothing for me.
Finally, 9:45 Eastern first pitch is the Atlanta Braves at the San Francisco Giants. Grant Holmes for the Braves, and for the Giants, it will be left-handed pitcher of the tight pants, Robbie Ray, who are -122. The Braves +104. Total is at 7.5. Munaf, finish us off with a winner.
Yeah, Robbie Ray making his 5th start, I believe. Yeah, for the San Francisco Giants. He's been pretty good on the season thus far. I know he had one game where he got into a little bit of trouble, which was against the Oakland A's. 4 1/3, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. His last start was against the Tigers, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks in that game. And the Giants have won 3 of his last 4 starts. You mentioned Grant Holmes getting the start here for the Atlanta Braves. I'm curious to see if he's actually made starts or is he actually coming out of the bullpen here. Let's take a look. So his last 3 outings have actually been starts for the Atlanta Braves, and the Atlanta Braves have lost all 3 of those games that he's been out there. His last 2 starts, which was against the Marlins and the Rockies, not very good. 9 2/3 innings pitched combined, 8 earned runs in those games, 12 strikeouts to 4 walks here. And again, just the Braves are not in good form right now, especially offensively. So I think Robbie Ray can go along well here. I'll take the Giants here on the money line, -122 here, Mel.
It's another team ride, Munaf. I've got that pick too. Robbie Ray backed up his good season debut. He's had good wins against Detroit and Cincinnati. As you said, Holmes is a swingman. You mentioned his record as a starter. But in total, he's made 13 appearances. He tends to put the pen in really low leverage situations as well. But those 13 appearances is 3-10 straight up. The Braves are 3-10 straight up. So there's a huge trend. If you wanted to make a case for Atlanta, the angle for them is that they are 22-12 against left-handed pitchers. But I reckon a lot of that was before they really dropped off recently. That'll be a lot of early season stuff. So yeah, Giants -122. I much prefer Ray to Holmes, and the 2 lineups really at the moment. There's not too much between them. So give me a Giants win there. Munaf, we have successfully got 15 games in the book. We need a lock and a dog. What have you got?
All right, I'll start it off with my lock here. I'm gonna go with the over in the Dodgers and the Brewers game. It does seem like it will be Walker Buehler for the LA Dodgers. And if you want to also take the team total over for the Dodgers in this game, I know Gio mentioned it's at 4.5 right now. I absolutely love that. But I'm going to go full game over 9. Frankie Montas, we talked about the numbers, just has not been very good. The Dodgers get their 3 guys back at the top of the lineup. And I think the Brewers can get runs off of Walker Buehler. And their offense has been pretty good as well. So I think this number is a little conservative. I think it definitely gets into double-digit combined here. So Dodgers Brewers over 9 for me. For my dog, couple of different ways we can go here. I do like the Pirates in the first 5. I'm going to take a stab at the Marlins, Mal, in the first 5 innings, and I think that will definitely be a plus price. They're plus 172 for the full game. But Edward Cabrera right now is in really, really good form. He has great history against the Phillies as well. I think that if they're able to tack on a couple runs early, I think Edward Cabrera can really lock in. The key is going to be for him is not giving up walks to this offense of the Phillies. But I think that this is a good sneaky spot early for the Marlins. Maybe the Phillies come back in the later innings when that bullpen does come in for the Marlins. But I think this is a good spot for the Miami Marlins in the first 5 innings on the money line with Edward Cabrera on the mound for the Marlins and Tyler Phillips for the Phillies there, Mal.
Okay, thank you, Munaf. What time zone is Chicago in, Munaf? I
They
thought, is it not Eastern? Are they not the same as the...
Chicago, yeah, I believe they're Central Zone. They're same as mine. Let me double check.
I just don't know what all I'm complaining about is why the White Sox always go off an hour too late for me, but the Cubs don't seem to. I'm a bit confused by that. The White Sox always just seem to go off it. It's like 1:10 in the morning here, so I
Yeah.
never get the first hour of these White Sox games. But I thought it was up that side, that coast anyway. Geography is not my strong point. My lock will be the over in the Pittsburgh San Diego game. Lots of stats pointing towards it. Like I said, Pittsburgh against the lefties with Padres against the righties, 67 and 50. Keller last start wasn't great, and Perez has done okay, but you've always got the feeling something's going to happen. And 8 just looks a little bit too low. And for my dog, I'm going to take Washington in the first 5 against Baltimore. DJ Hurts has got a nice 5-2-2 straight up record in the first 5, and Kramer's just on that bad run, 4 defeats in a row, 1-4 at home with a 5.40 ERA. Hurts puts Washington in a position to be competitive. That's what he's been doing lately, so we can do that again tomorrow, and I'll take Washington on the first 5. Finally, Munaf, we are on a hashtag streak. Hopefully, it doesn't get broken on Tuesday evening, so we can keep this going with the dingers. Munaf, Wednesday's home run will be hit by...
I hate to go chalky here, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of runs being put up in that game that we talked about with the Astros. With the Dodgers and the Brewers there. So I won't double down in that game. You know what? I'm just going to do it, Mal. The numbers are just too overwhelming.
Where are you going, Munaf? What are you going to say?
It's either Will Smith for the Dodgers, and I just hate to go chalky with Ohtani, but half of Ohtani's hits, Mal, against Frankie Montas has been home runs, and that doesn't equate to a good formula for him. But you know what? I'll give you a bigger number. Let's go with Salvador Perez against Bailey Ober. He's had a lot of success in his career against Bailey Ober, 2 home runs and 7 hits that he's given or gotten against Bailey Ober. He's batting .412 against him, 389 on base percentage, and 882 slugging percentage. And I think that this is an opportunity, like we talked about, where we both like the Royals in that game early, to where it's going to be warmer temperatures. Maybe there's wind going to be blowing out in that game, but I do like Sal Perez to take Bailey Ober deep in that first game. So hopefully we can get to the window early for the dingers for the Wednesday card.
I was just going to laugh at you for looking at all the chalky plays, but the ones that jump off are all chalk. I keep finding a number that I like, and looking along to the name, and it says Aaron Judge. Then I found another one, and it says Shohei Ohtani. I'm not going to win any prizes for picking them. So I've got Royce Lewis for tonight. I've just been drawn to Shohei Ohtani again on a different page. Can't pick him. I feel like I'm very often drawn to Corey Seager. I'm trying to get away
from
him
on
as
Monday.
Well. Did he? Devers
he had one on Monday
stands out. Jordan stands out. Oh, hang on. We might have one. Hang on. Hold the phone.
I thought you'd go back to your guy, Joe Adele, against Barrios.
No, I've got one, Muna. Just now, you say the word, the combination of the word shortstop and junior hasn't been kind to the Tampa Bay Rays, but This junior shortstop, Junior Caminero, has just been called up.
Yes.
Yes, so the Rays taking on Ronel Blanco tomorrow for Houston. Yeah, and he pops a little bit. I'm trying to find something a bit more exotic. So, yeah, he's batting 5th tonight. So, who are they facing tonight? Lefty tonight. Righty tomorrow. Might
Kikuchi's
not
on
get
the
in the
mound, yeah.
lineup. Oh, Munaf. It's killing me. I'm sticking with him, but I did mention about 6 other blokes as well. Junior Caminero is the answer. I think they'll give him some run, and we'll see if we can get him on the board tomorrow, Munaf. Anything else you want to tell the people about before we let them go?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Went through all the games, projected pictures that we did dig up for these games. But it should be an exciting card. Wednesday and Thursday usually means day baseball, so we'll have baseball all day, and then they'll take us in to start. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, getting into the weekend where we'll have EPL starting, preseason for NFL, obviously baseball going on as well. So sports, more sports, and more sports, my man.
Correct. I've got the casino out tomorrow, lunchtime, in an office block. What on earth are doing at Wednesday lunchtime in the office? Getting the roulette table and the blackjack table out. I've got no idea. So, office full of degens at 12 o'clock tomorrow lunchtime till 3 in the afternoon. So that's a bit of a random one. But I will go and earn a few quid doing that. Thanks everyone for joining us. That was lots of fun. We do appreciate it. Thanks, Munaf, and our weekly OGs. I enjoy those a lot. They keep me going. Back tomorrow night. Can't remember who it is. It's not me, but someone will be. Good luck with all your bets. Yes, there you go. Good luck with your picks. And until the next time, we will see you down the road. Cheers.